In May this year, Starlink and Google Cloud announced their partnership to forge new cooperation to facilitate the delivery of data and a wide variety of cloud applications to consumers by the medium of Starlink's top-notch broadband internet and Google's remarkable cloud services. This collaboration between the two firms is going to hold a lot of substance for every internet user, as with time this will cater to the ever-growing broadband requirements for homes, businesses and data centers with impeccable speed and stability in terms of connection. Within no time, the properties comprising of Google data centers would accommodate Starlink ground stations in their premises, which would ensure the delivery of data from 1,735 Starlink satellites to locations at the network edge via Google Cloud securely and reliably. SpaceX has been very aggressive in building out the Starlink network in the past few months, launching 480 in just around 3 months. All that in-space infrastructure build-out could well have been preamble to this collaboration and enterprise-focused service launch, in addition to helping SpaceX expand Starlink consumer service quality and availability. The private network of Google Cloud would also assist the delivery of internet service by the medium of Starlink's global satellite, which is going to bring forth internet and cloud connectivity to a vast number of home-based and business clients at any location you can think of, which is definitely a cool feature. With the corporate demand for cloud computing ever increasing, it shouldn't come out as a shocker to the viewers that large-scale firms and organizations would be the first to reap the benefits out of the collaboration way before ordinary people are able to. Though much of the public focus thus far for Starlink's rollout has been on residential access across its expanding beta, which guarantees that Google Cloud's revenue generation is only going to soar further when the collab proves to be a textbook classic. This technological merger between Google and Starlink also means that not only will business and public sector customers taking advantage of that new network reach have access to internet connections, but also to cloud-based infrastructure and applications, including AI and machine learning capabilities, analytics, and more. SpaceX President and Chief Operating Officer Gwynne Shotwell took this opportunity to express her excitement and said, "Combining Starlink's high-speed, low-latency broadband with Google's infrastructure and capabilities provides global organizations with the secure and fast connection that modern organizations expect," which was reciprocated with a similar enthusiasm at the Google camp as Mr. Urs Holzel, Senior Vice President, Infrastructure at Google Cloud, expressed that Google Cloud was delighted to partner with SpaceX to ensure that organizations with distributed footprints have seamless, secure, and fast access to the critical applications and services they need to keep their teams up and running. As this new capacity, powered by Google and Starlink, can be expected to be available for customers in the second half of this year, public sector agencies, businesses with presence at the network edge, and organizations working in remote or rural places can take a sigh of relief, since now they can access critical applications running in the cloud and other necessary cloud services such as that of machine learning. SpaceX will build the first Starlink ground terminal at Google's newest data center at Albany in Ohio and follow up with more installations across other data centers, which, in an ideal case scenario, can help Google take on Microsoft's lion's share in cloud computing in terms of market dominance, providing the Starlink network with direct access to ground-based network infrastructure to help facilitate network connections for customers who are on the edges of the footprints of existing network access. Connectivity from Starlink's constellation of low Earth orbit satellites provides a path for these organizations to deliver data and applications to teams distributed across countries and continents quickly and securely. And a lot of you viewers might be taken in by surprise that this is not going to be SpaceX's first collaboration with Google, as according to spacenews.com, a popular website for space junkies, Google invested around $900 million in the company back in 2015 to support continued innovation in the areas of space transport, reusability, and manufacture of satellites. Known for flashy names, Elon Musk named the initial rollout as Better Than Nothing Beta, with user terminal and monthly subscription costs of $499 and $99 respectively. As their email suggests, the company is telling you to initially keep your expectations low and wait for the final version. SpaceX is taking a vertically integrated approach to Starlink by building its own terminal and gateways, and has set user expectations that they will see data speeds between 50 megabytes per second to 150 megabytes per second, at latency from 20 milliseconds to 40 milliseconds, and sometimes no connectivity at all. Vice President of Starlink and Commercial Sales, Jonathan Hoffler, seemed to be a fan of the concept and praised vertical integration by saying that the beauty of being vertically integrated both on the user terminal, the gateways, and the satellite piece of it is that we are constantly updating and improving the connection between those pieces of infrastructure. Starlink's direct competitors in satellite internet provision, Viasat and HughesNet, offer plans under $150 but have data caps, and it is unclear if Starlink would have them as of yet. The $500 kit includes everything that you need to connect to the internet, including your Starlink, Wi-Fi router, power supply, cables, and mounting tripod. Still, it comes with the significant challenges the company is yet to address, that of low coverage area and a delicate connection which it has to deal with on its own. However, earlier this year came reports of a price cut as it was made public that to produce each user terminal it would cost around $1,500, which is a significant reduction from the cost of the first version. And now there have been reports that the company is now planning to add lasers to its spacecraft, which has pretty much stalled the pace at which they are setting satellites up. This temporary hiatus raised some questions that were addressed by Shotwell in August at the 36th Annual Space Symposium, where she said, "We're flying a number of laser terminals right now in space," while adding that SpaceX is now working to integrate lasers into all of its Starlink satellites. These laser crosslinks or laser terminals will allow the Starlink satellites to pass internet traffic from spacecraft to spacecraft worldwide without needing to relay the signals to a ground station connected to a terrestrial network, and were added to a batch of Starlink satellites back in January this year. They allow satellites to transfer information to one another and communicate in other ways as well. Often expensive to set up, the ground-based stations were costly to deploy and had to face geographical and political constraints on where they could be positioned, but the laser links would allow Starlink satellites to pass internet-based traffic from one spacecraft to another without requiring to relay the signals to a terrestrial network-linked ground station. Beyond enabling the Starlink fleet to reach polar regions, the laser links could also serve to reduce the network latency or the time it takes for data to travel. With this technology, SpaceX hopes that ground stations on Earth won't be necessary with every batch of satellites as part of the satellite constellation which SpaceX continues to grow, and making this change could allow satellite internet coverage to reach areas where ground stations cannot be built, said Shotwell. Currently, at more than 1,700 satellites, the firm would have to set up a constellation of more than 42,000 satellites in the sky to ensure a global outreach at a mind-boggling speed of 1 gigabit per second, which has drawn criticism from various sections of the society, such as that of astronomers, that claim such a setup would mess with their readings. Light pollution, as some might call it, can cause problems for them, as thousands of Starlink satellites would effectively make astronomical images useless by leaving long, luminous trails. Musk, however, dismissed those worries and said that he would paint the satellites black if needed to facilitate their job, as he is a man of science. Another concern raised by some is that of a collision in space, which the company is trying to prevent, as Shotwell quoted that Starlink employs autonomous collision avoidance technology, adding that the worst thing in the world is to have a collision. Amidst all concerns about the privatization of the cosmos and traffic jams in space, Musk is not stopping as of now and shows no inclination to do that, as he always soars high or doesn't take flight at all. Have you used Starlink connectivity? What do you make of your experience? And what would this ambition of Elon Musk mean to the internet as we know it? Let us know in the comments section and stay tuned for more. Ciao!